that is often being mentioned in these debates and discussions. The point of God being a creator who created the universe and all that is within. The Quran, for instance, Abdulrahman talks about in chapter 7, verse 54, that, and I quote, Allah created the heavens and the earth and all that is in between it in 6 days. Genesis 1 and 2, the Bible talks about the creation, giving details of the events and the happenings of 6 days. I'm questioning the practicability of God creating the universe in 6 days from a religious point of view, not just the science, but from a religious point of view. Abdulrahman.
Yes, number one, I have to first put across the point that the Quran is a book that has stood the test of time and has stood the test of science as well, where we have established truths in the Quran that were established more than 1,400 years ago, that were discovered just recently, and that there is no single divide between the Quran and science. Any science that is established is compatible with the Quran. We cannot say
there are a lot of points in the Quran that have as well been questioned by scientists,
definitely.
by atheists.
It is possible to question,
we'll get there.
But all of these things have answers. The questions that are raised always have answers. So the Quran talks about God creating the universe in 6 days. And the 6 days are not practically, do not practically refer to, if you read the Quran chapter 68 of the Quran, 76 of the Quran, you find that God talks about a single day being, for example, في يوم كان مقداره 50,000 سنة, the Quran says. So it talks about one day being an equal of 50,000 years. So a day in the Quran, in other verses you find وَإِنَّ يَوْمًا عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ كَأَلْفَ سَنَةٍ مِمَّا تَعُدُّونَ. So this word يَوْم is not specifically used for a day. Therefore, we do not believe, as Christians do, that this is just 6 of our normal days. We believe that there was an evolution in the creation, that God took time to create the universe. We believe that the earth is older than us.
And just to get it clear from
and all of that is compatible with science.
Just to get it clear from a Muslim worldview,
yes.
It does not necessarily mean that God created the world in 6 days of 24 hours.
Definitely, that's what I'm
How
saying.
long were these days?
I mean, they could have been millions of years. So that is just out for interpretation. But the important thing is that it's not to be taken literally as 24 hours. Yes.
Good. Jared, could God have created the universe on all that we see in 6 days? Is it really practical?
Why not? Because because we need also to understand who God is. No, we didn't define who God is. We are talking about a supernatural, eternal being whom with our own minds we cannot fully understand. So
we have to believe to understand him, not necessarily...
First of all, to believe to understand, and also then look at what he has done subsequent to creation, what he has done, and then ask ourselves, a person who has done A, B, C, D, is he able to create the universe in 6 days? A person who is able to stop the sun, for instance, we have biblical evidence where God stopped the sun from moving. Now, we said we're looking at the scientific issues. You know the sun, how hot it is, you know how big it is, and of course the Bible says stop it, but this God who stopped the sun, not literally the sun, but at least the movement of the earth, that time stopped. A God who can stop time, surely there's nothing he cannot do.
Okay, if I may just, the issue, if I understood your question well, was not about the ability. We were not asking about if God was able to, if God was able.
Is it practical for the universe and all that exists?
Very good.
It is
practical. That is how I understood the question, and we were not talking about the ability of God creating the world in 6 seconds or 6 days. We believe that God is omnipotent, therefore he can do whatever he wants. But we are talking about the universe and how it works. Is it possible that this universe, as Christians believe, is 6,000 years old? If you look at the chronology, 4,000, even less.
Yes.
Therefore, we believe that that's not practical, and it's completely against the knowledge that we have today about the world, and that the world is very ancient and very old. And mind you, that's why many people are leaving religion, because some religions do not answer questions and kind of just force you to believe dogma. Islam invites you to critical thinking. It invites you to investigate evidence. It invites you to